everybody, welcome back to my Let's Play. We're moving along. Like I said, this game is like super quick. If you've not played it, like it's ridiculously fast. This always happens to me whenever I play a game or anything. Like the first time around, it's always just kind of, I'm so enamored by the details of it, and all the aspects of it, and you know, because it's my first time, I'm learning the ropes, the mechanics of the game, that the game almost seems longer than it actually turns out to be. So in my subsequent playthroughs of this game, and I've played this game about several times, I've come to notice it's really short. So definitely, if EA decides to watch this Let's Play, which I'm sure they will, because yeah, I feel like if I project myself as a boss, whatever, anyway, I definitely hope that Mirror's Edge 2 is a bit longer than this game. This game's great, but before I knew it was done, which is really amazing. But I think I'm supposed to go this way. I know I'm getting shot up. I'm just trying to. Oh god. You know what I just realized? When Faith gets injured, I really hope I'm going the right way. It seems a little long to me. What I just realized is when Faith gets injured, you know, whether she gets shot or punched, some of the police officers or the enemies in general will assault her like that, the color starts to fade. Everything's normally pretty bright. You see that a lot of the scene. Oh, red valve handle. Now where have I seen that before? No, seriously, when I first saw that, I was like, dude, awesome. Seriously. Anything that reminds me of Resident Evil is just freaking badass. Anyway, like when Faith gets injured, the colors will start to become a little more muted. They'll become a little more duller. And I cannot seem. Oh my gosh, she's like a magnet here. All I want to do is climb. Thank you, game, for finally understanding what I wanted to do. So anyway, the colors get a bit dull. I remember this part. I think I'm supposed to go to this thing right here. I don't even know what you call it, but you know, definitely would never in my in my fantasies I could be anything, you know, like this helicopter actually flew in here. I don't know why I decided to commit suicide. Here you go. Take a shot every time I just randomly commit suicide in a completely nonsensical fashion. And hooray for checkpoints. Merciful checkpoints, I might add. This blows my mind. The fact that this helicopter actually flew down here, which is actually pretty ballsy of the helicopter. It could get one of its rotor blades hitting against the wall. Could be very bad. I really admire their persistence. So I'm assuming that. Oh, dear. I still have a hard time getting her to grab a pole. Stripper joke? No, I'm just kidding. But as you'll see in my later videos, I did sort of kind of get the hang of it. I think the key is this. I think, and it's kind of tough to, I'll try to explain it as best as I can, like I'm an expert in this game. No, but basically, at least in my experience, what I've found that started to work for me eventually is that I had to make sure that, if you guys can see it, once this comes back, there you go, there's a little dot in the middle of the screen. What I found that worked for me was to get the dot, get the pipe, whatever I want to grab onto, kind of centered on that dot. And that seems to work. If I'm off center a bit, then you see there the pipe was not centered. If I'm off center, then she won't grab it. At least that's what it seems like. I might be completely wrong about that. It was so funny that when I was recording these videos for this game, I was randomly on Twitch, and of course surprisingly, or perhaps not surprisingly, somebody was actually doing a speedrun of this game not as I was recording, but oh my gosh, this is absolutely insane. But the Let's Play was already started up. And of course, definitely put my attempts to shame. But I guess that's what happens when you practice a game a lot. And like I said, I probably said this in every single Let's Play I've done so far. I seriously admire speedrunners. It's something I can't do. Something I would never do because I just don't have the patience. And I also don't have that desire to play a game to the point where I would get just fed up with it. Like I said before, I've attempted it, I should say, with Resident Evil 2. And I said no. I tried it once. I got a time of about 1 hour 30 something minutes. That's how much I cared about it. I don't even remember how much time what my final time was, but it was definitely my personal best. It was like an hour 30. I want to say hour 30 minutes and 37 seconds. It's either the 30 minutes or 37 seconds, or 37 minutes 30 seconds. I really don't remember. It's on my Twitch channel. It's like archived there. So one of these days I'll look at it just to get the time again. It should still be there unless some weird glitch like erased that recording, which really, honest to God, I don't have much of a sentimental attachment to it, because I said to myself, this really is just not my thing. But I do have the utmost respect for people that do Let's Plays, because that takes a great amount of dedication, great amount of skills. A speedrunner knows more about a game than most other people, besides the people that program the game. Honestly. I've randomly been curious about different speedruns of different games, and I really like the ones that actually comment on their speedruns and they actually explain their technique and the aspects of the game that they exploit. And I, for one, speaking of speedruns, I just wanted to teabag there, I guess. I don't like speedruns that exploit glitches. I really don't. I like speedruns that are just, you might warp from one level to another if the game allows you to. Like, if that's part of the game, then that's fine. If that's how you want to do it, that's fine. I can tolerate that. But a speedrun that employs glitches is just not my thing. I mean, I respect people that use it, but it's just not a speedrun that I would enjoy. But I just like people just running as fast as possible. Well, you know what? Getting back to the glitch thing, it depends on what the glitch is. I don't know. I guess I just have to take it in context. I might be tolerant of some and others not so much. But like I said, utmost respect for speedrunners, because like I said, they know more about the game than a casual player. And that takes a lot of dedication. And that's just something that I just don't have time for. I really don't. And the thing is, like, at this point in my life, I barely have time to play a game even casually. Like, you guys see that I have this Let's Play channel, but let me tell you something. Sometimes it's just like, I will go for weeks and months even, and that's something. Why is she not walking on this thing? I don't know. But anyway, it'll take me weeks or months. Sometimes I might even have videos ready to be edited or commented on, but I just don't have time, and it's really crazy. And I kind of miss the ability to sort of play, and that's time is a big factor in terms of why I've stopped casting as well. I've mentioned my other reasons, as to why I stopped casting, and I think that's just kind of going to be, at least for the foreseeable future, I'm just not going to cast. So time is an element. Time is definitely a big factor in that decision. It's just kind of one of those things where I just sit and I think, I have this whole list of games that I want to play, old and new, but especially old. And at least I kicked them. That was satisfying. I don't care that I died. I'm satisfied that happened. but let's see if I can. I wanted to disarm him basically so I could shoot the guys on the other side, and that's not working out like I wanted it to. Like I said in like my first video, yeah, where is his gun? I don't know. So the change of plans, guys. Like I said in my first video, every time I would try to disarm somebody, I'm gonna be abusing that reaction time, you know, that kind of slow down thing. Oh god. Do I have to kill this guy again? No. One thing I said before, and it's worth mentioning again, the checkpoints are somewhat forgiving in this game, which is kind of nice. There will be times where I swear I didn't make it through a certain, you know, through to a certain checkpoint, and I die, only to come back and find out that I made it past that part. It's very interesting in this game. So we're almost out of this area. And let me tell you something, this game, I know it's fiction, it's a video game, it's not reality. It gives me, I think I have some vertigo. I think that's something I need to like look into because, oh my gosh. And I've said before, oh my god, that's definitely embarrassing. I think, guys, I'm going to change the name of this Let's Play to a blind Let's Play. Just to kind of save myself some embarrassment. Oh my goodness, this is crazy to me. I don't know. I mean, I've never been like an expert in this game, but wow, I'm really surprising myself, and not in a good way. Anyway, so we're out of that area. Where do I need to go? Up here. And up we go. Let's try that again. So yes, video games are lovely. Are a lovely tool, aren't they? I was saying about time. You know, I definitely value my time a lot. And even now, I have a list of games that I've either not played before or that I've not played in a long time. And I would love to be able to play them. But I have this thought where I'm just like, oh my god, I don't have the kind of time to play these things, and it's very unfortunate. But I'm definitely gonna make time. So I think, you know, especially, but here's the thing, like, I only want to make time for games that are worth my time, if that makes any sense. By that I mean, speaking from personal experience, I spent a whole year playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. And you guys know my gripe. The gripes that I, you know, the kind of the feeling that I have with that game series. I got myself so burnt out on it that I said no. If I want to play video games, which I do, I mean, I love them, I'm going to play something worth my time. Something that challenges me in a good way. Something where I don't have to deal with the community of like 12 and 13-year-olds. Seriously. And here's another red valve handle. My gosh, this is just my lucky day. I think I'm going this way now. So it's a slow ascent. And I'm actually surprised she grabbed that. I have no idea if I'm going the right way. No, this looks right. But never again. I said, you know what, especially now that I have not as much free time as I had even a few years ago, I mean, it's a big difference. I said, I'm gonna just kind of pick and choose very wisely what I want to do with my time. So, there you have it. I have a lot of retro games that I want to play and I want to hunt down, so I'm very excited about all of that. And I think that's just where it's gonna be. And I just kind of had this thought, I'm like, wow, I'm starting to be, that's when you know you're kind of getting on an age where you're just like, back in my day this, back in my day that. So I'm already having those experiences. Back in my day, we didn't have this silly objective thing, checklist I should say, in video games. No, they put you in a video game, some video game universe, and then they said, good luck, figure out how to play this game. Metroid, right? Super Metroid didn't have objectives. You had to find your way to the power bombs, to the missiles, the super missiles, to the bosses. And if you wanted 100%, you better check every inch of every wall to see where the secret areas were. But seriously, it actually made you think. Resident Evil, if you didn't save your game, there were no fancy little checkpoints that, you know, or automatically kicked in when you died, spawning you in a spot further than when you saved. Not like this game. Could you imagine if this game operated and using the same principles as Resident Evil? Like I'm talking about the old Resident Evils, the good ones, where you would have to save your progress if you wanted to start at a particular area. Forget it. Oh my! I'm actually abusing the fact that this game has checkpoints. Are you kidding me?
Look, Jackknife may know something about Pope's murder.
Now this is always very funny to me.
Okay?
First of all,
He used to be a pretty decent runner. God knows who he's working for now.
the elevators. And there are so many elevators in this game, it's ridiculous. When I think parkour, and I don't have much experience with parkour, but when I think of parkour, I think the last thing that I think of is taking an elevator up 5,000 floors. And I know this is very obviously a way to load the next part of the level, or the next part of the chapter, or whatever it is, but so now I gotta chase this dude, Jackknife. And I'm pretty sure that's like his porn name or something like that, and I bet he thinks that gets all the chicks. Oh, Jackknife. You want to see my jackknife? Like, screw you, buddy. Okay, so gotta chase this guy down. If I slow down, game's pretty forgiving here, but if I slow down and I lose him, I have to restart the area. So I'm gonna make sure I have him in my sights. And keep it going. Ugh. Right. Of course. We're gonna try that again. I'm pretty sure to people who practice parkour, I don't know if there's a name for them. This is probably considered foreplay, I don't know. Who the hell knows? So, I don't know. I think at this point, like I said, and I've said this all the time, it's very hard for me to get excited about new games, and it's not me being difficult. It's just my preference. There's just something about old school classic games that really just kind of do it for me. And I think I remember having a moment in my life, even as a kid. So it wasn't even about nostalgia because time hadn't passed yet. This was still during my childhood, where I'd said to myself, and this was particularly experiencing a moment where I heard a song, video game song, and I said, oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing ever. And now, and as I'm mentioning this, I am remembering that in my previous video, I started a conversation about this, and I never finished it. I started talking about Super Nintendo music, and I said, oh, my favorite one is, and then I never finished it. You guys are gonna have to bear with me. I do this all the time. But I got back to it. My absolute favorite Super Nintendo song, and it's not just my favorite Super Nintendo song, it's actually one of my favorite video game songs, period, is Sticker Brush Symphony from Donkey Kong Country 2. At least he waited for me. So I don't understand. Dumbass, that's what you get, bro. So I'm gonna have to find another way.
Can you find another way through to him?
Be smart about this. Okay, I'm gonna have to grab those poles over there, and and I'm pretty sure you guys can predict what's most likely gonna happen when I make this attempt. Of course, Faith becomes a ghost and she goes right through the pole. But anyway, Sticker Brush Symphony from Donkey Kong Country 2. In my opinion, the greatest Super Nintendo song of all time, but I will continue this discussion in my next video because I am just about out of time. Alright, until next time.